Well, hello again everyone, welcome back to the garage. I'm having a little bit of a break from working on the AJS Regal Raptor today because I want to start getting ready the Suzuki Intruder for summertime riding. Chaz has bought himself a new bike and I think that's going to mean that we want to do some trips which I may want to ride the Intruder on. So I need to start getting it back up and running because you might remember we had that oil leak from the gear position sensor, which I never did get properly fixed. I did buy a new old stock genuine Suzuki part for it, which I've got back in the house. So I'm going to go and get that and we'll have a look, see if we can fit it. So here it is, my genuine Suzuki part. Took a bit of getting hold of this. There's some on eBay which are a little bit suspect looking. Probably got the similar problem going on with them. This actually came from Holland. Well, the first thing to do, I reckon, is to take the battery off and get it on charge because yeah, this has been sitting a few months now and guaranteed that battery is nice and flat. And also I want it disconnected while I'm fiddling with the electrical contacts on that new gear position sensor. And of course, if you're a regular viewer, you'll know how fiddly getting this battery disconnected and removed is. So let's crack on, get it out of the way. Well, it'd be handy right now to have the Suzuki up on the new bike lift, but that's occupied by the AJS frame, and I'm hoping this will be a relatively quick job. So I've just leaned the bike up against the side of the garage here. I've got this dust sheet to protect the tank. Not really a recommended way of working, I guess, but it's secure enough. Now I'm going to pop this cover off and see if I can remove the old gear position sensor. Well, there you go. Taking off that cover has exposed the old gear position sensor. And you can see oil's been dripping onto the exhaust here, and when I was riding it, all this was getting quite oily and nasty. So you can see there's two wires here that just form a loop, just come out and are joined together. There's a wire that runs underneath. Let me see if I can grab it for you. Yeah, I think you can just about see it there. And that goes round the front of the bike and connects to that little doohickey there. So you can see on the new oil pressure sensor, these are the two that just essentially joined together to make a loop. This is the one that goes off to the front of the bike, but we've got this big cluster of wires and connectors here. Now that is this wire here, and that seems to come up. Can you see it behind the clutch hose there? And it sort of disappears off. It's not these wires, it disappears off into the engine, and I'm hoping it's in this starter motor cover here. It's quite a long set of wires, so it could be this one at the back here coming out of the starter motor cover. Yeah, look how long the lead is on the new one. It's a fair old length. So I think the thing is going to be to pop the seat off and possibly the side panels and have a look and see if I can see where those connectors go. See if I can find something that matches up and looks like the new set of connectors. So I've not really managed to trace where those wires are going. I'm not even convinced the wire that comes out of that starter motor housing is the one that goes in. I've consulted the Haynes manual and it's not really that helpful. It talks about checking the neutral switch with a multimeter, and then it just ends by saying if the switch doesn't check out as described, replace it. There is a section on replacement. It says remove the switch mounting screws and take it off the engine. Well, we've done that a couple of times with the old one. And install the switch with a new sealing washer and tighten it securely. No mention at all of the wires or having to take anything else off to connect the wires. Yes, so here look is the wiring diagram, and it shows the neutral switch just with a single blue wire and an earth and the blue wire goes to the side stand diode. Well, what the heck is all this then? This wiring looks way more complicated than is indicated in this wiring diagram, and it actually does match what I'm seeing on the bike, so I'm pretty sure this is the correct neutral switch. Now you might be saying to yourself, Alex, just remove the starter motor cover and you might see where it goes, but if you remember the video where I replaced the starter motor, you have to take off this section of the cooling system to get at the little nut that holds the cover on. Remove this coolant pipe and the little housing off the engine to get this nut undone that holds the starter motor cover on. And as you can imagine, I was rather hoping to avoid doing all that. Yeah, I'm going to have a little go again and see if I can get the starter motor cover off without doing it. I don't think I will be able to, but I might be able to loosen it enough to have a bit of a look. Now look, that cover nut is now in contact with that coolant pipe. That's not going any further. We have done something useful though, because look, this cable coming out the top there is definitely the same one. All it does is pass right through where the starter motor is housed, but where does it go after that is the question. It disappears off down here. So I have now managed to trace it. It comes up out the starter motor housing, runs along under here, goes up, disappears behind all this, behind the fuse box, and it comes out by the side of the air box and then into this tangle of wiring. And you can see this is my new connector. You can see you've got blue and black there, you've got the green one there, and you've got the black and white little bullet connector there. So unfortunately it does seem like I've got to take that starter motor cover off, so I've got to drain the coolant out the bike, dismantle that coolant pipe again, and take the cover off eventually, just so I can thread that wire through the route it needs to take. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to feed it through without doing that, I don't think. It's just way too tight. I mean, there's only just enough gap for the wires there. So yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that. I might have a go, but no, I don't think I will. I think I'd damage something if I had a go at doing that, wouldn't I? So yeah, it is getting a little bit late now. I've got some other jobs I need to do in the house, so I'm going to come back to this tomorrow.